In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a Rainbow Loom 2-color flower fun charm. This is a new version of this video. I made one back in October, and since then I've had a lot of people say that either their flower fell apart or that it came out looking not like a flower. And I've also had a lot of requests from people who do not own a Rainbow Loom. They have a cra-z-loom or another brand in which they can't move the rows of pins. So I'm going to be showing you how to make this with the loom set up in this pattern. So the pins are not in line with one another and they have like a V shape at the end. And we're going to start with the arrows facing towards you so that all of these open ends of the pins are facing you. And you need to choose your colors. I have blue and white for the petals, so you're going to need 6 of one color and 6 of the other, and then I have 3 bands for the center. So we're going to be starting on this third pin in from the left side of your loom. So you want to take your first color, and that first band placement is going to go up and diagonally to the right. We're going to be making a triangle shape. So I'm going to place that band on and go up and diagonally and twist. And then I'm going to push down. Now I'm going to switch to white. Again, I'm going up and diagonally to the right and twisting. And then push down. I'm just going to keep alternating colors. So now I'm going to come back down and to the right with blue and twist. And now I'm going to again come down and to the right diagonally and twist with white. And now I'm just going to work my way back. So I'm going to do blue and twist. And then I'm going to do finally a white and twist. So we've made that triangle shape. And that's what your first layer is going to look like. And now for the second layer, we're going to be switching to yellow. And I'm going to be starting on this third pin in from the left. I'm going to stretch up and diagonally to the right. It's going to be a little bit of a longer stretch. And then I'm going to go to the next pin, and again, I'm going to stretch it diagonally to the right. There's no need to twist anymore. And then finally from this top pin, I'm going to stretch it all the way down to the bottom. So that is what your second layer will look like. And now that I have 2 layers on, it's time to start removing that bottom layer. So I'm going to have 2 bands on every pin that I want to remove. So I'm going to take my hook, grab this bottom blue band and pull it over the top. And then also I'm going to be removing the white band. I'm just going to go up to the next pin and again remove the bottom 2 bands. So I have blue and then white. Go to the top and remove those bottom 2. And now this pin here in the center is going to be the hardest to get because you can't just reach down through the center to remove them. You have to do it from the outside. So if you take the back of your hook and push back on these upper bands so you can see this bottom blue band, and then pull that over the top. And now I'm going to again push back, and I want to remove this white band, so pull that over the top. I'm just going to keep working my way around, taking off those bottom 2 bands. And then one more here. And then I want to push all of this down. And now once again, I'm going to be adding the next layer of petals. So I'm going to be starting on this third pin in from the left, and I'm going up and diagonally, and I'm just going to again keep alternating colors. Just going to work my way around the triangle. And then back down towards the left. And so that is the third layer. And now once again I want to remove that bottom layer. So I'm only going to have one band on each of the pins. So I'm going to take this bottom yellow band and pull it over the top, and then just work my way around the triangle. And then once again, the center pin is the hardest to grab, so just take the back of your hook and push back so you can see that band that you want to grab. Pull it over the top, and then just continue on. And then again, you want to push all of this down. And now here is where it's going to differ from the first video. I'm going to start on this bottom left pin, and I'm going to grab these two bands. You're going to have two bands on all of the pins, so put them both on your hook, leave them on, and move them to the pin above. Make sure they both get on the top of that pin. And now what I'm going to do is take my hook, push back on these top two bands that I just put on, grab the bottom two, and move them out through the center, and just move them to the pin above. And once again, I'm going to reach down through the top, push back on these top two bands, get a hold of the bottom two, pull it out through the center, and move it to the next pin over. You have to make sure they both make it on. And now again, I'm going to reach down through the center, and it helps for this pin if you go out to the side more and you want to grab hold of these two bands, bring them up through the center, move them down to the next pin. And now again, I want to reach down through the top, push back on the top two bands, grab the bottom two, and pull them out, move them down to the left. And now this is my last pin. You should have 4 bands on this pin. And once again, I'm going to reach down through the top, push back on the top two, get a hold of the bottom 2 bands, and pull them out through the center. Now you want to keep these 2 bands on this hook because these are your loose ends and you don't want to let them come off or your flower will fall apart. And now what you can do is carefully take the rest of these bands off of the pins. And then if you flip it over, this should be your flower. And you can always move some of these bands around to get it to look, the petals to look more even. Sometimes some are out farther than the others. But that's what it will look like. And now you want to take a clip. I have an S clip here. And you're just going to hook these 2 loose bands through the edge. And then here is your flower charm. So hopefully you found this easier to do than the first video and that your flower turns out great. You can always leave me comments on YouTube or on Facebook, or please feel free to post a picture of your flowers or any other creations on my Facebook page. I'd love to see how they turned out. Thanks!